I am obsessed with great battles, with military strategies, and with leaders who changed the course of history. But what truly moves me, what makes me feel history, is the small, the intimate, the irredeemably human. Today, we won't talk about tanks or landings. We'll talk about a folded piece of paper, stained and torn at the edges. We'll talk about a letter a soldier wrote in 1942 to the woman he loved. To understand the weight of that handwriting, we have to transport ourselves back to 1942. The world, my friend, was on fire. It wasn't a distant war on the newspapers. It was a vortex swallowing entire nations. The soldier who picked up his pen that year, wasn't he just writing a note? He was writing a testament. He was miles away from everything he knew, the smell of home, the warmth of the fireplace, the touch of his beloved. He was surrounded by mud, freezing wind, and the constant, terrible thunder of cannons. The act of writing itself was a monumental challenge. The pen slipped in his gloves, the ink froze, paper was scarce, and fear. Oh, fear was a constant companion. The letter had to pass through military censorship, so he couldn't say where he was, how bad things were, or, God forbid, criticize the mission. He had to use a code of hope and courage that, deep down, was a necessary lie to protect the one he loved from anxiety. When I read transcripts of these letters, I can feel his heartbeat. The first paragraph is almost always the same. My dear, things are going well here, and I hope this letter finds you in good health. The gentle lie. But in the development, in the subtext, in the little details, that's where I see his soul. He doesn't speak of death, but he speaks of not wanting to be forgotten. He writes, I count the stars every night, and each one reminds me of the sparkle in your eyes. He doesn't speak of hunger, but he asks, tell me, please, what did my mother cook last Sunday? He clings to the banality of domestic life as if it were a lifeline. The most devastating and the most beautiful part is the declaration of love. In the midst of carnage, he finds the strength to be a poet. He writes, the sound of bombs is nothing compared to the silence left by missing your smile. And of course, the solemn promise, I will return. I have to return. Because my future is not on this battlefield, it's in your hands. In our life, together, that promise, that anchor of hope, was the fuel that kept him walking. It was stronger than fear, more powerful than duty. Looking at that letter from 1942 is not just looking at a piece of history. It's witnessing the purest, most resilient expression of the human spirit. It reminds us that behind every uniform number, behind every casualty statistic, there was a man whose heart beat desperately for someone back home. A man who fought not for abstract ideologies, but to hold his beloved once more. That letter, that silent relic, is proof that even in the deepest darkness of war, the light of true love, that light always finds its way home. And that's why I love this story so much.